Welcome to the GCSE PE Guided Choices talk. So things to sport pathways at Honeywood. All learners will still be able to participate in extracurricular sport should they wish. Everybody will still take core PE, and then as an option, learners can also choose GCSE PE. If they do choose GCSE PE, they will get 4 75-minute lessons a week plus 2 75-minute lessons of core PE. So they will still get 6 sessions of PE per cycle. Of the 4 GCSE sessions, 2 of them will be theory, 1 of them will be practical, and then the 4th one will be between practical and theory depending on where we are in the course and what we need learners to focus on at that particular time. Things to consider. So learners do need to be good at PE. It's 30% of the overall mark, and what we do find is that high prior retainers, so learners who are very good at theory, who don't necessarily have the practical skills, do tend to have their grades pulled down by the practical. So it is important that they are actually good at practical PE. This could be things that they do in school, but it could also be the things that they do outside of school. So we currently have learners who will be assessed in skiing, snowboarding, sailing, climbing, things like that, because they represent clubs outside of school. The other thing to think about is, do you need it for your career? So PE could lead into teaching, it could lead into coaching. You've got sport at professional, semi-professional level. It's fantastic for maintaining a healthy lifestyle, both physically and mentally, and then it also leads well into things like physiotherapy because of the amount of detail that they need for sports physiology. And then the final thing is, do they like it? But not just do they like practical, are they interested? Do they want to learn about the body? Do they want to learn about the theoretical side of PE, things like sports psychology, that kind of thing? Okay, so the overall course is split into 60% theory. That is divided into 2 papers, both of which are worth 30%. Both are examined for an hour and 15 minutes. The first paper is fitness and body systems. So a lot of this is to do with exercise and training, sport, exercise physiology, that kind of thing. And then component 2 is more to do with health and performance. So we look at the mental benefits of exercise. We look at why things that make people participate in sport. We look at sports psychology. We do sports sociology, and then 40% of the course is practical. That is split into 30% for the physical side, so 3 sports, 10% each, and then 10% of that is a written coursework, which is like an evaluation of performance. Okay, so on the theory, I've already said the range of topics that learners will study. So anatomy and physiology is to do with like body systems, so they'll learn about the heart and the respiratory system, muscles and bones, that kind of thing. Physical training looks at how and why we train and what impact that has on the body and how we train differently for different sports. Basic sports psychology is to do with things like how we learn, how we perform, mentally, how we can be at our optimum to make our performances better. And then socio-cultural influences looks at things like drugs in sport, and sporting behaviours, so why people cheat, for example, and then there will be an aspect of data analysis as well. During the course, learners will be assessed at the end of each unit throughout year 9, 10 and 11. There will also be mock exams at the end of C9, end of C10 and then at the start of C11. Final exams will be at the end of C11, and you get 2 papers, both are an hour and 15 minutes. And then from a practical point of view, so they'll be assessed in 3 sports. Of those 3 activities, one of them must be a team sport, one must be an individual sport, and one can be either. The exam board give us a list of all of the practical activities, and if the activities are not on that list, then learners will not be able to be assessed in them. So please be aware that things like rounders are no longer on the specification. All the martial arts, unfortunately, have been taken off. The only combat sport that's on there now is boxing. If it's things like rugby, it has to be full-sided rugby, so rugby sevens is not an option. Football can be football or futsal. So I'll go through the list in a second. There are quite a few different options. It is useful if learners play at least one of these sports outside of school, if not more. But we will look at trying to pick up more sports in school. So we will do things like table tennis and badminton, because these tend to be sports that are not played outside of school. Again, assessments will happen at the end of every unit, and then there will be a mock exam at the start of year 11 in November. And then at the end of the year, there will be a 2 or 3 day exam, usually in April time. Okay, so team sports. You've got quite a comprehensive list of team sports there. As I said, futsal has been recently added, but that can't be taken in conjunction with football. You can do things like badminton doubles or tennis doubles or squash doubles, but you can't do doubles and singles for the same sport. And then if learners are looking to do dance, then you've got the styles that are accepted are ballet, ballroom, contemporary, modern, hip hop, jazz, salsa, street and tap dance. From an individual sports point of view, again, you've got quite a comprehensive list. Cycling needs to be track or road cycling. They have also now added BMXing, but it needs to be racing rather than just the stunts. Gymnastics, you can choose whether you would do floor routines or on an apparatus, and you only need to pick one area. Athletics they're only assessed in one area, so track or field, and it's just one event. And then racket sports, again, they can only be assessed in singles or doubles of one racket sport. And then skiing and snowboarding can both be taken, but not together. So you have to take one or the other. We do also have a short list of specialist activities, but in order for learners to be assessed in these, they need to meet national governing body criteria for competition in order to be able to be assessed in them. And then finally, the last kind of 10% is the analysis of performance. So this is it's a non-examined assessment, but initially we will start it under controlled conditions. It's assessed in school and then it's sent off and it's moderated by the exam board, and learners have to evaluate their performance in one of the sports that they have been assessed in, and then they have to plan for improvement in that sport. If you have any questions or anything, then please email me. Obviously I'll be available on Guided Choices evening as well, and I'm happy to kind of have a chat and answer any questions that anyone may have. Thank you.